Then he asked for our newspaper.
The journey into the mastery of human energy begins not with a theory, but with a physical demonstration that baffled modern science. In the early 1980s, a documentary crew traveled to Indonesia to investigate John Chang, a healer and the 16th generation lineage holder of Mopai. This tradition is a branch of Neidan, or ancient Chinese internal alchemy, which seeks to refine and direct the body's internal energy from within. On camera, Chang demonstrated the generation of real bioelectricity from his own body. He was recorded igniting a crumpled piece of newspaper, using only his hands and driving a plastic toothpick through a solid wooden table. When questioned by skeptical scientists, Chang explained that his abilities were no more supernatural than those of an electric eel, which possesses a biological mechanism to harness yin and yang, positive and negative energies, to generate a physical discharge. Chang's mastery was the result of decades of daily meditation aimed at harmonizing these polarities. He described a process where the joining of positive energy from the head and negative energy from the abdomen generates a force as tangible as electricity. This force, known in the East as qi or qi, is described as the energy that fills and sustains everything that exists. However, after a group of scientists attempted to measure Chang with electromagnetic equipment, he was reprimanded by the spirit of his deceased master for violating the strict taboos of the lineage. For centuries, these traditions remained closed, transmitted only from master to disciple. The secrecy was not just about tradition, it was about the dangerous level of power and individual gains when they learned to regulate their own bioelectric system. Chang subsequently withdrew from the public eye, but his story remains a primary piece of evidence that qi, the invisible life force, is a measurable physical reality that can be mastered. We are not separate from the energy of the universe. We are its conductors. If John Chang is the eel, the universe is the water that carries the charge. To understand how such energy is possible, we must look at the fundamental architecture of reality. The ancient Taoists concluded that all life is founded on the interaction of two opposite yet complementary forces, yin and yang. This ancestral symbol represents the moment original unity divides into two fundamental polarities, the positive and the negative. This is a map of energy in action, where yin represents matter, rest, and the negative charge, while yang represents movement, action, and the positive charge. Yang energy is described as projective, electric, expanding, and associated with the sympathetic nervous system, while yin energy is receptive, magnetic, contracting, and linked to the parasympathetic nervous system. Life, at its core, is a dynamic balance between these two polarities. Together, they create a measurable electromagnetic system within the human body, organized around the central axis of the spine. Modern biophysics reveals that this activity generates a torus field, a self-referencing energy loop often called the aura. This field is a multi-layered cocoon of energy that reflects your innermost state, extending beyond the physical skin in 7 distinct layers. When your energy is balanced, the aura radiates an expansive, vibrant field. When stressed, it becomes restricted and jagged, signaling an imbalance that often leads to physical illness. The flow of energy through the torus field is not random. It follows a precise mathematical order often associated with the golden ratio, approximately 1.618. This divine proportion appears in the formation of galaxies, the growth of leaves, and patterns within the human body. Crucially, it is ingrained in our anatomy. Forms based on this ratio enable the smooth flow of energy across different dimensions. This relationship was studied by Albert Einstein and mathematician Élie Cartan, leading to the Einstein-Cartan theory, which introduces the idea of torsion in the structure of space. These are subtle electromagnetic fields that exist around objects with specific geometric properties. Because the human body reflects these proportions, we are naturally tuned to interact with the universal energy field. This means that every movement we make can be seen as an interaction with the structure of space itself. This geometric alignment is the reason ancient practices like Tai Chi and Qigong utilize precise postures. They are aligning the body with the natural order to circulate energy through its centers.
Yin yang, positive and negative, and my positive from here and my negative from here, and we meet together, this can get like electricity.
Later, he told us that anybody could learn this. God had given us all the yin-yang polarity, but it takes discipline and meditation to awaken and control it. And you must be very aware of your emotions. This energy can be dangerous.
And is this because you're special? You have a special sort of
It's for meditation every day.
It's meditation.
But I study about 18 years.
Modern science confirms that the human body is a living electrical system. Every cell functions like a microscopic battery, generating energy from oxygen and nutrition. While we are taught that the brain is the command center, the heart is actually the body's most powerful electromagnetic broadcaster. The HeartMath Institute discovered that the heart generates an electromagnetic field 60 times stronger than that of the brain. This field is measurable up to 15 feet away in all directions, meaning you are constantly broadcasting an energetic signature to everyone you encounter. The key to energy mastery is heart-brain coherence. When you feel positive emotions like gratitude, love, or appreciation, your heart rhythm becomes smooth and ordered, forming a sinusoidal wave. This coherence synchronizes your brain waves and expands your entire field. In this state, your intentions become exponentially more powerful because you are broadcasting a clear, organized signal rather than static noise. By shifting your emotional state, you are literally changing the station of your broadcast, pulling in experiences that resonate with that higher frequency. If the heart is the broadcaster, the mind is the pilot. Modern science has confirmed that your brain functions like a quantum computer. Inside your neurons are microtubules, tiny tube-like structures that seem to operate as quantum processors. According to physicist Sir Roger Penrose and Dr. Stuart Hameroff, these structures allow your brain to interface directly with the quantum field, meaning your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your reality, is directly altering probability waves in the universe. The double-slit experiment proved that subatomic particles behave differently when they are being observed. This means that the act of observation, your focused attention, actually chooses which version of reality crystallizes out of a wave of infinite possibilities. As Dr. Joe Dispenza has shown, neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you replay a negative thought, you are hardwiring your brain to make that your reality. Conversely, by vividly imagining a desired outcome with emotional intensity, your brain releases the same neurochemistry as if the event were already happening, effectively collapsing that probability into your physical experience.
You can touch me like this. It's nothing, okay? It's my burn. Just like this.
For our sound recordist, it was also a shocker.
Can you project this energy through your hands only, or through other things as well? Only your hands.
First, you learn to distinguish between yin and yang qi in your body. Then how to pool it in your navel chakra. Then how to project it, he says.
The most tangible way we direct this mental and emotional power is through our hands. Our hands operate in two modes: the physical mode for everyday tasks and the psychic mode for channeling energy. As discussed, your hands are built according to the golden ratio. If you measure the length of each section of your finger, the tip, the middle, and the base, each is approximately 1.618 times longer than the previous. This geometric perfection is designed to allow energy to flow in and out across spaces and times. This is why simple hand gestures, or mudras, are so powerful. They are reconfiguring the torsion field of the body to focus energy. Your hands are equipped with approximately 17,000 nerve endings, making them the most sensitive instruments in the body for perceiving energy. At the center of each palm lies an energetic opening called the Lao Gong, which acts as an entry and exit door for qi. We generally receive energy through our left palm and give it with our right palm. By rubbing your hands together for a minute, you activate these energy vortices, amplifying the flow. Placing your hands together at the heart center connects the logical left brain and the creative right brain, completing an internal energy circuit. This generates a massive flow of mental energy through the palms. In this state, you can practice psychometry, sensing information about an object or person just by holding your hands near them. To activate the full potential of your hands, you need three elements: mental energy, a clear intention; emotional energy, feeling the intention deeply, amplifying states like love, well-being, and faith; and focused awareness, being fully present in the moment, aware of every detail of the energy flowing through you. The direction of movement is crucial. Always move your hands in a clockwise direction to open energy channels and project force. Moving them counterclockwise draws energy inward and closes channels. This ethereal massage can harmonize another person's energy field, often relieving physical symptoms like headaches by simply adjusting the surrounding field. While the hands direct energy, the Dantians generate it. In Neidan, internal alchemy, the body is viewed as a sacred laboratory where the three treasures, Jing, vital essence, Qi, energy, and Shen, spirit, are refined. Jing is the foundational physical energy related to vitality, genetics, and sexuality, stored in the lower Dantian, below the navel. It is considered the wax and wick of the life candle. The lower Dantian serves as the reservoir where Jing is stored and converted into Qi. Qi is the active energy that flows through the body and meridians and is cultivated through conscious breathing and movement. Qi is not fixed in one place. It moves, but is often refined and stabilized in the middle Dantian, the heart center, where it supports emotional balance, compassion, and vitality, transforming vital energy into spirit. Shen refers to consciousness, spirit, and higher mind, which is nourished when Jing and Qi are balanced. It is associated with the heart as the residence of awareness, and later refined upward into the upper Dantian, the spirit chamber, where energy sublimates into wisdom and pure consciousness. The core alchemical process occurs when sufficient heat is generated in the lower Dantian through the interaction of the fire of the heart and the water of the kidneys. This causes the vital essence to transform into qi, which then rises along the spine in a circuit called the microcosmic orbit. As this energy circulates, it clears the 72,000 nadis, energy channels, eventually leading to the awakening of Kundalini, a dormant spiritual force at the base of the spine that rises to achieve union with cosmic consciousness. This is the process of transforming the dense, matter, into the subtle, light. The fuel for this alchemical furnace is the breath. Across cultures, the words for breath and spirit are often identical. Prana in Sanskrit, Qi in Chinese, and spiritus in Latin. In Sanskrit, prana translates to life force, and yama to control. Thus, pranayama is the art of life force manipulation. Yet most modern humans use only half of their lung capacity, which keeps consciousness at a lower level and accelerates aging. Masters of energy use specialized techniques to manipulate this life force. Embryonic breathing, a state where the breath becomes so fine the body appears to breathe by itself, returning to its embryonic origin. Nasal breathing. Proper energy work requires the nose, as it aligns with the body's natural pathways. Inhaling through the nose draws electromagnetic energy down the spine, while exhaling guides it upward. Diaphragmatic breathing. Engaging the belly activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calming nerves and ensuring full oxygenation. Tumo, a Tibetan practice where practitioners generate immense inner heat through visualization and breath, enough to melt snow in freezing temperatures. The breath serves as the bridge between the material and spiritual worlds, clearing blockages in the nadis to allow energy to flow. You cannot build a high-voltage system on a grid clogged with debris. Ancient traditions teach that emotions are energy in motion. When emotions like fear, anger, or shame are suppressed, they become energetic dams or blockages. These blockages often manifest as physical tension, chronic pain, digestive issues, or constant fatigue. Many of these traumas are stored in the lower body, specifically in the lower chakras and the psoas muscle. When you use conscious focus and diaphragmatic breathing, you can melt these frozen blockages, returning the trapped energy to your system. This release often grants a sudden surge of immense power and vitality. Healing, therefore, is not just about the physical. It is the process of removing the parking brake of your energy field so your life force can irrigate the entire system once again. To master energy, you must master the mind. Once the channels are clear, the power of energy is determined by your focus. In the 1930s, Kuda bucks amazed the world by seeing perfectly with his eyes fully bandaged. He attributed this seeing without eyes to decades of yoga and the power of directed attention. Bucks practiced by meditating in front of a candle, focusing solely on the darkest part of the flame until his mind became fully immersed in the object. This is the process of samyama, which includes concentration, dharana, meditation, dhyana, and deep absorption, samadhi. By holding a single thought or image for at least 3.5 minutes without distraction, you begin to influence physical reality directly. In this state, your consciousness fills the entire universe. Your attention acts like a concentrated laser beam in a hologram. It is what illuminates specific possibilities within the quantum field and gives them three-dimensional form. Repetition is the key. Consistent daily training strengthens this mental muscle until high energy becomes your default state. Physicist Itzhak Bentov provided a mechanical map for these higher states. Using a ballistograph, he discovered that during deep meditation, the body's frequencies synchronize into a shared resonance of 7 Hz. This 7 Hz rhythm matches the Schumann resonance of the Earth. Bentov explained that as the speed of a vibration increases, the points of rest between oscillations get closer together. At infinite speed, the points of rest overlap, creating a state of total rest. This paradox, where infinite speed becomes total rest, is what he called the absolute. By mastering stillness through meditation, you are not doing nothing. You are accessing the source of all energy. In this state of samadhi, your subjective time overlaps objective space, allowing you to be everywhere at once and access complete knowledge from within the hologram. If these powers are real and measurable, why are they kept hidden? The evidence points to a pattern of systematic suppression. Masters like Michio Kushi, who warned Congress in 1999 that ignoring natural energy laws would lead to the collapse of Western health, was labeled pseudoscientific. Itzhak Bentov died in a mysterious plane crash shortly after sharing his research on accessing other realities. John Chang was silenced by the taboos of his own lineage and the scrutiny of the West. The reason is simple. An individual who masters their own energy becomes sovereign and ungovernable. They no longer depend on pharmaceutical systems for health, political systems for security, or external authorities for their sense of reality. But there is also another reason for why this knowledge remains so restricted. God has given all of us this yin and yang polarity, but it takes discipline and meditation to awaken it and bring it under control. You also have to be very aware of your emotions. This energy can heal, but it can also be destructive if it is driven by negative emotional states. Imagine someone with strong negative emotions having the power of the Word, like Jesus Christ. It would be destructive. Imagine that everything you think or say would happen instantly. This would create chaos. If you want to access even a small part of this creative potential, like that of these masters, you must change the emotional charge you put into everything you do. When you understand that your nervous system is an antenna and that you hold the remote control to your experience, things begin to shift. We are not separate objects bumping around in empty space. We are dynamic, flowing patterns of energy and information. The ancient teachings of Naidan, the physical demonstrations of John Chang, and the discoveries of quantum mechanics all point to the same truth. Everything is energy, and you are the one controlling it. The transformation happens from the inside out, biologically, electromagnetically, and quantum mechanically. The blueprint for transformation is clear. Start with morning coherence. Spend the first 10 minutes of your day breathing into your heart and generating gratitude. Then, through the day, do simple energy scans. Check in with your body 3 times a day to identify and release any tension. When stress appears, use a pattern interrupt. Use the 5-5-7 breath to reset your nervous system. And at least once a week, practice future self-installation. Spend 20 minutes visualizing and feeling your desired reality until it becomes your default neurological state. Your energy is your magic. It is time to change the station and broadcast the reality you are designed to live. That's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching until the end. Subscribe, like, and share if you are ready to claim your divine power. See you soon.